The true alchemists do not change lead into gold. They change the world into words. Philosophy has a great sort of appeal in terms of an artistic or aesthetic organization of concepts. It's a conceptual art. Words are the supreme objects. They are minded things. Some people say their life is full of darkness, and I wonder why they don't just try and switch the lights on. Sports, politics, and religion are the three passions of the badly educated. Blue is therefore most suitable as the color of interior life. For me, the short story is not a character sketch, a mousetrap, an epiphany, a slice of suburban life. It is the flowering of a symbol center. It is a poem grafted onto a sturdier stock. I write because I hate a lot hard. If death itself were to die, would it have a ghost? And would the ghost of death visit the dead in the guise of someone alive? If only to fright them from any temptation to return? The body of our Savior shat, but our Savior shat not. It's not the word made flesh we want in writing, in poetry and fiction, but the flesh made word. I publish a piece in order to kill it, so that I won't have to fool around with it any longer. I do think of my reader or listener really more often. If I give a lecture, for example, and I know that I'm talking to these people, I enjoy sort of preening them a bit, but it's a matter of decorum. Basically, I am unlikely to trust a sentence that comes easily. Freud thought that a psychosis was a waking dream, and that poets were daydreamers too. But I wonder if the reverse is not as often true, and that madness is a fiction lived in like a rented house. Surely it's better to live in the country to live on, a prairie by a drawing of rivers in Iowa or Illinois or Indiana, say, than in any city, in any stinking fog of human beings, in any blooming orchard of machines. It ought to be. The real subject of On Being Blue is language itself, which he sees as glorious to the exact degree that it is also inadequate, unable to sustain an immediate relation between a word on the one hand and its arbitrary and yet indissoluble referent on the other. All words are figurative. No blue is ever just blue. And I am in retirement from love. As Rilke observed, love requires a progressive shortening of the senses. I can see you for miles. I can hear you for blocks. I can smell you, maybe, for a few feet, but I can only touch on contact, taste as I devour. The things that stayed were things that didn't matter except they stayed, night and day, all seasons the same, and were peaceful to a fault, and boded no ill but thought well enough of themselves to repeat their presences. We converse as we live by repeating, by combining, and recombining a few elements over and over again, just as nature does one of elementary particles, it builds a world.